The Mystery of Chloe Price. I decided to look deeper into Chloe because everything seems to revolve around her. I had no idea the rabbit hole I was about to fall into. Despite the way she sweeps your heart away, she is much more than a simple rebel. Chloe has a good heart that wants to help, but also has a streak that does not take others into consideration. In the parking lot, her car is parked across 2 handicapped parking spots.
Now this really pisses me off. So entitled. Sorry, handicapped folks. My truck needs these 2 spots more than you do. Bastard.
Additionally, when you get to her house, she doesn't offer you a toke of her weed, which in terms of weed etiquette is very rude. What makes it even ruder is that Chloe blames Max for the weed and never even apologizes for it. There's also some Native American iconography through the game, so I decided to look into Chloe's animal spirits, the blue jay and the blue butterfly. The blue jay often appears when Chloe is nearby. The blue jay is a Chinookan god of trickery. The Chinookan are a tribe of Native Americans in the Oregon area, which is where Life is Strange takes place. Blue Jay is a kind-hearted god who often helps humanity, but also likes to cause trouble. Interestingly, Blue Jay also has a few tales in which he travels to the land of the dead in order to help his sister. A side note is that Rachel Amber has a blue jay feather as an earring, so it is possible that the blue jay is actually Rachel Amber's animal. The blue butterfly also appears with Chloe and is in Chloe's tattoo. The exact species that appears is the Morphoamathonte. This species is known for being a very strong flyer and difficult to catch even by predators that specialize in catching butterflies by the wing. I could not find any information about butterflies in Oregon Native American culture. I apologize for mispronouncing any words, and if you have any additional information, I would love to hear it. As I said before in other videos, the butterfly also represents the butterfly effect in chaos theory. In chaos theory, the butterfly effect is the sensitive dependence on initial conditions in which a small change in one state of a deterministic, non-linear system can result in a large difference in a later state. The name of the effect, coined by Edward Lorenz, is derived from the metaphorical example of the details of a hurricane being influenced by minor perturbations, such as the flapping of the wings of a distant butterfly several weeks earlier. In simpler terms, the flapping of a butterfly's wings can cause a hurricane down the line. So if Chloe is the butterfly and the hurricane happens in 4 days, and this is the first major chain Max does with time travel, does that mean that saving Chloe's life causes the hurricane? A small detail is that the blue jay god is male and the Morphoamathonte is only bright blue when it is male. There are words written on Chloe's wall that says, "Think like a man." I'll just point out these details without any further analysis. For now, I'll still refer to Chloe with female pronouns until I know better. Let's move back to Chloe's appearance. She seems to represent chaos and death. Her look contains 3 things: skulls, blue butterflies, and a little bit of red. I have brought up the color blue in a previous video about how there is a theme to it. There's a very particular shade of blue used through the game. It stands out pretty well. Chloe's blue hair being the easiest to remember, but also the blue butterfly and the blue jay, both animals that can fly with wings and are associated with appearances of Chloe. The same shade of blue is on Max's wristband, Kate's marker, and Chloe's mother's hair. The color red also seems to have a theme. This color red is the exact opposite on the color wheel as the color blue that is often used in the game. I also noticed this shade of red through the game being associated with aggressive behavior or people associated with money. Victoria's shirt at the end of the game, the cup on the principal's desk, Nathan also has a red jacket. So I find the color red to be significant, especially since the classroom at the beginning of the game is filled with posters saying how colors and the color wheel are important. The fact that Chloe holds both that shade of red and blue is particularly interesting considering that everyone else mostly only has one color or the other. The skulls in her outfit represent death. Chloe is shot at the beginning of the game where the skull is placed on her shirt. Also, with some research, I came across a very fitting and famous depiction of skull iconography. This is a famous mosaic depicting death as the great equalizer between rich and poor. Notice that this has 3 major things in it: a skull, a butterfly with blue in it, and a red cloth dress. The skull symbolizes death, and below that is the blue spotted butterfly that symbolizes the futility of life. The wheel symbolizes fortune. On the left, The red dress is the rich, while the right brown dress is the poor. Take note that the butterfly, the skull, and the red cloth are all things that appear in Chloe's tattoo. There is also a red flower on the tattoo right where the skull is. Traditionally, showing a skull with dried red roses is a symbol of human sacrifice. Chloe's antagonist in the game is Nathan, who is able to get away from justice due to his status of coming from a rich family. Chloe, on the other hand, is relatively poor and has a very low standing in society. Another small detail is a very famous quote saying "Et in Arcadia ego," which translates to "Even in Arcadia there I am." The I is referring to death, and Arcadia is a reference to a utopian land. So the meaning is, even in utopia there is death. The name of the town that Life is Strange takes place in is Arcadia Bay. So with a list of small details adding up, the butterfly effect, the mosaic's similarities to Chloe's tattoo, the red flower on the skull, the name of the town being Arcadia Bay, the blue jay god being known for traveling to the land of the dead, and so on, I'm going to have to say that my fan theory is that Chloe will have to die in the bathroom at Nathan's hands. Her death will be the equalizer that wipes away Nathan's power with money, and when she dies, people won't be able to deny that he's done wrong anymore, and will investigate into him further, uncovering even more things that he and the rich red people around him have done. If you think these meanings are too deep, keep in mind that the co-founder of Don't Nod wrote an extremely complicated book, and the studio is French, so you know, it's gonna be deep and complicated.